So lately during my live streams, a lot of people have been commenting on my PC. And honestly, that makes me kind of feel good. I've put a lot of time and money into this PC build. And granted, it is not the best of the best, but I built it myself and it looks fucking awesome. Okay, before we get started, guys, you know the deal. If you guys aren't subscribed yet to the channel, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button down below. And at the end of this video, if you guys enjoyed it, make sure you guys hit that like button. We got a lot more content coming out in the future, guys, so stay tuned. Hit that notification bell so you guys get notified every time I go live and I post a new video. All right, let's get into it. So granted, when I started building this PC, it was probably during the pandemic. And as some of you already know, PC parts are pretty hard to come by, especially nowadays. So back when I started building this a couple of years ago, I had a really tough time finding parts. Not to mention everything was a little overpriced. So I ended up taking my sweet time, made sure that I didn't buy anything that was too overpriced, and I waited a while for things to come in stock. But the one thing I could get my hands on right away was my case. It's the Lee & Lee 011 Dynamic. Now this case is beautiful. I love the fact that it's all glass, it's see-through. You can hide the PSU in the back so that everything looks super aesthetic. And trust me, I do love aesthetics. As you guys can tell by the background, my stream, everything. I do put a lot of effort into a lot of things to make it look good for you guys. So my original plan was to get a 3080. And at the time that I was building this PC, they had just released the 3060. Now the 3060 was really enticing to me. It was only like $500 at the time. So I figured, why not? If I can't get my hands on a 3080 or a 3090, I might as well try and get something. This card hasn't failed me yet, which is awesome. If you guys can get your hands on a 3060, I highly recommend it. It's definitely worth the money. Obviously, if you can get it for retail price. So once I had my graphics card, I thought, okay, now I need a CPU. So I ended up settling for a Ryzen 7 5800X. So to pair with my Ryzen 7 5800X, I have an ROG Strix B550F motherboard. It's a lot to remember. Now when it comes to RAM, I ended up getting two 16GB G.Skill Trident Z RGB RAM. And in terms with SSD, the motherboard did come with two M.2 slots. For me, I opted for the FireCuda M.2 1TB. Honestly, this thing is more than enough. I've got tons of games on this, tons of programs that I use. Haven't had any issues yet, and it hasn't filled up. It's getting close. I've never really been a fan of the fan style coolers. I do like the look of the AIO water cooled style. One in particular definitely caught my attention, and that was the NZXT Kraken Z73. Honestly, this thing is super cool. The whole GIF display that you can have on here is really awesome. You can make it super unique. Put your logo on there, put a picture of whatever you want. If you don't want to put a picture, you can put something like your temperature on there, your PC specs, things that you can monitor while you're streaming or gaming. So while I was building this, I've seen a lot of pictures and a lot of Lee & Lee builds, and a lot of them used the Lee & Lee Streamer Plus cables. Obviously, they're super aesthetic. There's zero functionality to them other than the lights. But if you do want to add a little bit of flair to your PC, these are the way to go. And to top off that flair, I ended up getting 9 Corsair Ql 120 fans. These things are so cool. There's a lot of cool things you can do in the IQ software. Different color profiles, different color scenes, plus again, super aesthetic. Now you're thinking, with all this stuff, what kind of power supply unit am I running? So what I ended up getting was the ROG Strix 750 watt PSU. Honestly, I haven't had any power issues with this PC, not one bit. I've overclocked it multiple times, run tons of programs. I have all these lights on it, and not once have I had any problems. And to think I was gonna get 1,000 watt. Honestly, this PC has been a dream build of mine for a while. It may not have all the things that I was looking for when I first started. The good news is I can obviously upgrade these things. So there you guys have it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for more content to come. Also, if you guys want to see any more videos on my streaming setup or the layout or anything like that, let me know in the comments down below, okay? Until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Stay safe and have fun.